When you think of a tech incubator, a presidential election isn't usually the first thing that comes to mind. But in 2008, while Barack Obama was competing with John McCain for votes, the Obama campaign was recruiting some of the brightest minds in tech to build a complex data gathering operation and gain a high-tech edge over his rival.
In November of 2007, I got to see Barack Obama speak when he came to Google, and he talked about all the great things he wanted to do, taking what we were doing at Google with evidence and science and feedback and bringing that to the government. The last thing I remember him saying was, "I want you to be involved," and I think he meant he wants votes or donations, but I took him literally, and I actually 2 weeks later flew to Chicago, and I slept on the floor of the one friend I had there and joined the campaign.
Dan Siroker was one of the masterminds behind Google Chrome, but he left that job to work on the Obama campaign in 2008. During the election, Siroker created a tool that helped the campaign design websites to get voters to volunteer or donate. Siroker's tool worked so well that after the campaign, he commercialized the technology and called it Optimizely.
Optimizely is the product I wish we had in 2008 to make it really easy for anybody to do A/B testing. And it's the idea that the process of experimentation should be enabled so that it doesn't require a developer, it doesn't require an engineer.
And Siroker wasn't the only tech entrepreneur to use the campaign as a testing ground. Seth Bannon worked on the Obama campaign in Ohio before creating Amicus, a social network tool to promote causes.
His campaign really empowered its organizers and employees more so than any campaign had in, I think, the history of politics.
How?
So he would, I ran a county in Ohio, for instance, and had very little oversight. So they basically said, you know what's best because you're there, so go and do it. And that's very much so an entrepreneurial mindset, an entrepreneurial spirit. And so I think that's why you see a lot of startups coming out of the Obama campaign, is because he chose that type of person.
The companies may have started in Obama's campaign, but services like Dan Siroker's Optimizely are now being employed by businesses like Starbucks, eBay, and yes, even Mitt Romney's presidential campaign.
The political market on its own is really hard to build a sort of scalable business in. And so I think what you've seen a lot of is people taking technology that was originally intended for use in the political world and applying it to the nonprofit world like we are, or applying it to the corporate world like National Field is doing, or applying it to any sort of domain.
Do you think we'll see a new batch of startups come out of this campaign?
Oh, definitely.
Lori Siegel, CNN Money, New York.